Thank you, Randeep. Good evening, everybody. Let me just give you a quick rundown of the Prime Minister's first day of engagements on the occasion of his visit to Kazan for the 16th BRICS Summit. The Prime Minister arrived in Kazan earlier this morning, and at the airport he was very warmly welcomed by the Rais, or the head of the Republic of Tatarstan, His Excellency Rustam Minikhanov, and the Mayor of Kazan, and was accorded a guard of honor. He was also given a traditional Tatar welcome, where he was presented bread and a Tatar dessert, chak-chak, by the local people. India has old historical links with Kazan, a city which lay on an ancient trade route. On his arrival at the hotel, the Prime Minister was greeted by members of the Indian community in Kazan. We also had members of the local ISKCON branch singing Sanskrit chants to welcome him, and a group of Russian artists performed Kathak and Garba dances on the occasion. Thereafter, Prime Minister witnessed a photo exhibition on Mahatma Gandhi that highlighted the Mahatma's engagement with Leo Tolstoy. And this is particularly significant as it was in Kazan that Leo Tolstoy studied for several years. The Prime Minister's first formal engagement of the day was a bilateral meeting with President Vladimir Putin, the host of the 16th BRICS Summit. The meeting took place in the Governor's Palace, and the two leaders discussed the progress made in bilateral relations since the 22nd annual summit between them, which was held in July this year in Moscow. This happens to be the Prime Minister's 7th visit to Russia over the last 10 years, and his second visit to Russia this year. The two leaders had an extensive agenda to go over, the whole range of bilateral issues, including trade, economic, energy, defense, connectivity, education, and people-to-people ties were discussed between the two of them. Regional and global issues of mutual concern also came up for discussion. The two leaders also exchanged views on several matters concerning BRICS, and President Putin expressed his appreciation for India's constructive attitude and contributions in concluding the documents related to the Kazan BRICS Summit. The leaders also shared perspectives on the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Prime Minister reiterated that dialogue and diplomacy was the way forward to achieve resolution of the conflict. He briefed President Putin about his engagements with the Ukrainian leadership, and noted that India stood ready to contribute in bringing peace to the region. An important issue that came up was the issue of early discharge of the remaining Indian nationals in the Russian army. This figured from both sides in the discussion, and with the support of the Russian side, a number of Indian nationals have in recent months been able to return to India. We understand that currently the embassy is pursuing around 20 cases with the Russian side, and we very much hope that all of these individuals can be released at an early date and be repatriated to India very soon. The two sides also expressed satisfaction at the ongoing defense cooperation and agreed to hold the next meeting of the India-Russia Intergovernmental Cooperation Group on Defense Cooperation in Moscow at an early date. On energy cooperation, in which there is engagement between India and Russia on building nuclear power plants in India, it was agreed that the Department of Atomic Energy and the Russian agency Rosatom would continue to remain in touch to adhere to the mutually agreed schedule for the installation of the remaining units, that is units 3 to 6 of the Kudankulam nuclear power project. Economic cooperation figured quite prominently in the talks, and the two sides discussed the possibility of further cooperation in the financial sector. Sustaining supply chains for the steady and regular sourcing of fertilizers and coal from Russia was also discussed, and President Putin promised assistance in this regard as well. As agreed by the two leaders at their 22nd annual summit earlier this year, India will host the 25th session of the India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission on Trade, Technical, Economic and Cultural Cooperation in New Delhi on the 12th of November 2024, for which the Russian delegation will be led by Deputy Prime Minister Denis Manturov. And as I had pointed out just a couple of days ago as well, India is at this time working with the Russian side to open a new consulate right here in Kazan in the not too distant future. Another new consulate that was announced some time back will be opened in Ekaterinburg. The Prime Minister's next engagement, which got over a short while ago, was a meeting with the newly elected President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, His Excellency Dr. Masoud Pezeshkian. Prime Minister and President Pezeshkian had a fruitful discussion. This was their first meeting since President Pezeshkian's election as the 9th President of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Prime Minister congratulated him on his recent victory and reaffirmed India's commitment to deepening the age-old bilateral ties with Iran. In fact, both leaders emphasized repeatedly the shared historical and civilizational ties that underpin their bilateral relations and discussed ways to further strengthen cooperation in various fields of bilateral ties. The discussion focused on key areas of cooperation, particularly the Chabahar port and the international north-south transport corridor, which are crucial for enhancing regional connectivity and economic partnerships. In fact, seamless connectivity in the region was a theme of this meeting. In this context, the recent signing of the long-term main contract for the development of the Chabahar port in Iran further strengthens the commitments of both countries toward collaboration in these sectors, which is in a sense also significant for the reconstruction and development of Afghanistan and for enhancing trade, economic and people-to-people linkages with the countries of Central Asia. Both leaders also discussed the situation in West Asia. Prime Minister expressed his deep concern over the escalating conflict and reiterated India's call for the protection of civilians, the prevention of harm to civilians. He emphasized the need for dialogue and diplomacy to de-escalate tensions. President Pezeshkian also emphasized on the need for peace and harmony in the region and the role that India could play in de-escalating the conflict given its good relations with all the parties involved. As I said, Afghanistan was another key topic of discussion between the leaders. Both of them underscored the importance of maintaining peace and stability in the region, along with continuing humanitarian assistance to the people of Afghanistan. President Pezeshkian acknowledged in particular the role that India played in Iran's accession to both the SCO and BRICS, and both the leaders agreed to continue their cooperation within various multilateral platforms, including BRICS and SCO. These are the developments for the day today. The Prime Minister is going to leave in a short while for the exclusive leaders dinner being hosted for BRICS leaders by President Putin. And we'll brief you on tomorrow's developments as the BRICS summit opens at a time that will be notified later. Let me stop there. Thank you.